How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to Cities by Jake. Today we are in Eden Valley and broadcasting live from the future. So I recorded this episode, and then I recorded the next episode, and then I recorded the episode after that. And I realized when I was editing that all of the recording was super laggy. And I'm not sure if it was a mod that I am going to introduce today, or I have already introduced the mods, but you're seeing them for the first time today, or it was an OBS issue. I'm leaning that it was more towards an OBS issue rather than the mods, but long story short is we are coming to the future, so if I'm moving around and you see stuff that you haven't seen before, that is the issue. And I went back and forth on deleting everything and redoing it, or just, taking the loss and doing, continuing on. And I've decided to take the loss and continue on. You're still going to see what would be episode 7. That is now going to be episode 6. So you will still see that episode. I'm just going to have to scratch what was supposed to be episode 6. And I will kind of go through what I did in episode 6 to kind of show you what we did. I mean, what it was at the end of episode 4, I talked about expanding, a new district and building out the death care a little bit. And that's what that episode was. But before we get into that, I want to kind of explain Eden Valley and the origin story and how things came about to where they are today. So before we get into the episode, I am going to do that. Eden Ward, along with his wife Selena, embarked on a journey for a new life. They wanted a fresh start. Where they were, the city was poorly run and they saw no signs of growth. After days of a trek, they finally settled in the valley. And thus Eden Valley was born. Eden was a young visionary with experience in forestry, and he knew that this area would be perfect. However, to make the next great city, he knew that he couldn't do it alone. He rallied up a group of folks that bought into his vision. Emerson Hughes, a master in agriculture. Aldrich Fawn grew up in an ore town that his great-grandparents built. And finally, Herbert Burns. The Burns family has been in the oil industry for ages. Eden has the pillars to create the next great city. Now all that's left is to do. Future Jake here. I just want to come here and say that I never told you what mods we added. It was mainly cinematic mods so that I can do some cinematics at the end of my videos. But the two big ones were realistic population mod, that kind of took, a turn for everything. I lost a lot of office space, but it's fine. And we're gaining a lot of residential space. That's the main reason why my residential bar is so high. With that adjustment, the residential is popping. There's a lot of office space and not a lot of workers, so there's a huge demand for residential and more, stuff. But we're at a stopping point because we need highly educated workers, and we can't do that without a university. So I just wanted to kind of pop in and say that's what we added. We also added realistic walking speed to the mod list. So those are the two big ones, and just mainly cinematic stuff, post-processing, ultimate eye candy. I will have a list kind of on the screen right here to show you all the mods that we added. But yeah, so Future Jake is leaving, and see ya. Alright, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little segment. So, with that, we're gonna pause this for a second. So with that comes renaming some stuff. And again, I've already renamed this stuff because we've already done the episode. I'm gonna kind of explain everything. So, as the story said, Eden was an expert in forestry, so he created his forest industry and his lumber company called the Ward Lumber Company. And eventually we are going to show some more love to Ward Lumber Company with expansion and kind of more, make it more of a little neighborhood for workers. So the Ward Lumber Company has now been born and is thriving as a 5-star company. Now, Eden knew how he wanted expansion and future growth, and he knew that there wasn't a good place for a neighborhood at the moment. He knows what he wants to do with this area because he owns all of this area, and he just knows that it wasn't a good fit to build a neighborhood right here. So he, knowing that he also wanted to expand way over here for future, him and Selena settled down over here. And they picked this house. Let's rename that to the Ward Residence. So he and his family, apparently it's his extended family too, all live in this home. So that is called Ward Oaks. And with that, he also changed this road to Eden Lane because of eventually he's gonna grow out of him, and Selena are gonna grow out of this home, and they're hopefully to pass it down to their kids. So he wants to retire up in the hills. So he just named the street after him to kind of remind him that that's where he wants to be eventually. Next, we have Emerson Hughes, a master in agriculture, created Hughes Farms. And like the Ward Lumber Company, this is a huge mass production. Not as good as we would like, which again will be another future episode to expand this area so that we can produce a lot more and output a lot more. So Hughes Farm Hughes Farm is created. Now, Emerson and his wife Tamara, they didn't really want to be next to the farm. They really like work-life balance, so what they did was they settled over here. And you can see it is really, it's, a booming area, a whole medical district and a lot of high schools and high capacity office and stuff like that. So they settled in Hughes Alley. Emerson named this park area after his wife, which is a 4-star park. And we just need to put some entertainment level to make it a 5-star park. But they settled here. So it's a much more lavish, I guess you would say, compared to Ward Oaks. But I guess when you have a 5-star industry, you know that that's what's gonna be. We are gonna name this the Hughes Residence, because they live in here. And that's where Hughes Avenue is born, which goes, I believe, yes, goes all the way up here and ends here. Now he skipped it over. So this was actually one of the first ever streets created in Eden Valley, and Eden Ward wanted to be, wanted it to be special. And he couldn't think of a better name than Selena Avenue, after his wife. So that stretches let's check how to. So that stretches from Hughes Avenue all the way to here. It's one of the larger roads. I don't think it's the largest road, but it's one of the longest roads in Eden Valley for now, besides the highways. So that is Eden Ward and Emerson Hughes. And next we have Aldrich Fawn. And he is working on Fawn Mining Co. Now it's not as good as Hughes Farms and Ward Lumber Company, but he knows that he's not being left in the dust. He knows that Eden and Aldrich and Herbert wants to invest in Fawn Mining Company, and also vice versa for Burns Energy, but that's not quite happening yet. And a part of that was Eden gave a big stretch of land to the Fawn family that they could eventually, either expand through here, or not. So that's where they are, and they are actually in this house right here. So we have some big homes here and some smaller self-sufficient homes here. So again, that's that. We have Burns Energy. Now he is living in this neighborhood for right now. Him and his family are living in this neighborhood for right now, but that's not his neighborhood. He owns all of this land, and he has a lot planned but the focus isn't back here for right now. So those are the families. So I have already checked. In the last episode, in the episode that I've already recorded, I've already checked the roads, but I just want to double check. We did add all of these. I just want to double check that the roads are actually how they are supposed to be. We have Green Street here. That's a huge connector, which is nice. And we have another small one, Cedric Bridge. At the actual Cedric Avenue. Okay, that's fine. Williams Street. That I think I'm eventually gonna get rid of and either stop here or continue on. It really all depends on what I want to do here. I do have plans for this area, so we'll see, and then obviously down here as well, but future episodes. So this is another one that I wanted to check, Phillips Avenue. I'm gonna keep a lot of these names here correct. We're gonna name this First Street. I'm gonna start getting into numbers, mainly for the downtown area. So what I think I'm gonna do, since I have this kind of blocked off, we're gonna do First Street. Then it's gonna kind of, maybe I can try and circle it. All of this stuff might change, so I don't really want to put too much time into it, because I'm not gonna continue on with how I have this grid. I'm definitely gonna break it up here and so forth. My idea is to have this kind of wrap all the way around and then have streets coming in the middle. And then same thing for here. So I don't want to put too much time in here, because this is kind of a mess. But what if I did you know what? No, we're gonna leave it. Once we get all of this developed, then I think it's necessary to have an episode where we name streets and kind of get stuff better. But I think for now that is good. I'm trying not to showcase this stuff because that's in next week's episode, and it is a good one. So, and speaking of that, I did mention that I was going to. Okay, so like I said in the beginning of the episode, this episode was scratched. This episode was scratched. So I'm showing it to you right now just to kind of explain what we did. We had some low density housing along the river just so that we can kind of, meet the demand for population. And we still need to meet the demand for population, and I know that's something that I really need to do. Really need to start pushing population up, pushing those numbers up, which eventually we'll do over here. I want to draw a road down here, continue this over, and then have all of this be residential. I do have big plans for kind of this area to be a little tourist and entertainment district. We're also going to have an entertainment district here as well to meet some other, to assist in some other areas over here. But that is what I want to do. But I need to kind of start pushing a lot of residents in. So we did that, and I kind of tried to blend it in to here, where I think this is okay. No, I need to check. Okay, I have a high-rise band, and just make sure. Okay, that is here. We have that there. So that is that high-rise band, and I wanted to sort of blend it in here. I only want this area to be really high-rise, high-rise, and then over here will be where all the big skyscrapers are, like taller than this, where they are. But we are nowhere near that kind of level yet. So I went ahead there, and then I also started detailing this kind of greenway, and I still want to work on this, especially starting to smooth this area out. Just so it's not such a huge path. But we're gonna do that right now. I don't mind that, honestly. So what I want to do, I just put trees here for now, but I do want to start doing some fencing around here. I think it is ideal, and what we're gonna do is, I think I was gonna do the airport fence, but let's try it. Turn network anarchy on. We'll go back to that. So that isn't the prettiest, but let's see if we can push this down. Can't. So the only thing that we can do is add some trees, and I want to make sure I have all of the trees that I want to have on here. Do that. We're gonna delete this. Go back and do this. Definitely doesn't look the greatest, but that is fine. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. drag this fence here. And then let's that, do that, and let's do here. Have that. And then let's drag this to here. Also, push that there. And then just whatever. I mean, they would never plant a tree there anyways, just because it would probably die. So that doesn't look great, but that's what we're gonna do. And I think because this has that cliff, and kind of cliff, you don't necessarily need it, but we are gonna put some more trees down right here. I don't know why I can't place a tree. I have anarchy on. Maybe I need to do drop anarchy. Oh. Okay. We're just gonna do some trees for now here. We'll leave it like that. So that's that. We have a few pop-up shops here. A coffee shop. And then a small little market. Again, local organic produce here. We have this neighborhood and this greenway. Eventually, what I might do is I might make this a park. This huge stretch of park, so it increases land value up in here. Because I would imagine that this would boost value. This would be a, these would be, $1 million plus homes being right on the water. There's no zoning here. But the land value on this is not great, especially when you look here, 105, almost double just on this side of the street. So that is that. I don't want to detail this yet because I don't want to detail it until we get this area. But I know what I actually want to do. But I'm going to detail in here. I started to. This just doesn't really look that great. So let's put some color in here. Those trees. Great. And again, let's put some color in here. I think that's fine. Yeah. Now that I'm looking at this, I don't know how I feel about such a huge climb. Like, I almost feel like I need to have homes that are this level here. Yeah, I don't know. I'll leave it for now. If it starts to bother me, then maybe I'll start filling in some of like these homes and actually make them lobbable and non-upgradable. But we will leave it there for now. So I think, I wanted this to be a short episode. I'm just trying to like go around without trying to showcase next week's episode too much. And just trying to make sure things look good. I did notice in one of the this is what I wanted to do. I want to drag this closer to the corner. I do need to have a transportation episode because this stop there's a lot of people there. I need to look out to figure out where exactly all these people are going. And if we are going to need to add either more trains or more lines. That might be something we need to look into, but I don't think I want to do that until we finish building out the university. The university is going to be in 2 parts. As you can see, I've already recorded 1 episode, but clearly not done. So we're just going ahead and making sure that this stuff looks accurate. Just right up against the road. Just trying to do that. Turn this. That. Then we are going to push that right there. Same thing for here. And here. So eventually, I do want to create a pedestrian bridge through here. Just something simple so that it can be over here, that these 2 stations are connected. If someone lives here but works in here, they can essentially get off here, cross, and go to where they need to work instead of walking all the way down here. It's a simpler walk and probably a safer walk than getting over here. We still need to work on this area. We need to redo it a little bit, but still, I think that will be, this pedestrian bridge will be a part of this redo episode. 83% though. Really great. Okay, so I think that's where I'm actually... Oh no, I didn't do this. Let's bring that in here. Let's touch there, touch there. We're gonna bring this to this corner. So I actually want to do a path. I want to actually fence them. Yeah, I think my intention was behind this that this would actually be more here, but what I wanted to do is, oops, what am I doing here? Want to fence this in, that, there. It's fenced in, ideally, so people can't just kind of walk into here, to this elementary school. Then grab this, and we're gonna do that. But grab, not letting me grab, grab it. Interesting. Okay, I'll just leave it like that. Maybe we can do that, kind of bend that. Okay, so we'll push that over here. Once I wrap this up, I think then we'll kind of wrap up the episode. Okay. Get a path. Let's do that. And then we'll do this. This. Get this going. That is good. One more. Okay, cool. So, like I said, I want to finish the university, and then I think we're going to do a transportation episode because there's no transportation in here other than this one subway station and tram, which is not terrible, but I think we should also have maybe not actually. We do need to re-envision the tram network though. Maybe add a different line that runs up here, and then kind of re-envision that so that when we come back down here, there's another tram line that kind of circles through here. I think having tram lines that kind of focus on this area, and then have one that focuses on this area and over here. We might just need to re-envision our transportation area. Okay, so short episode. Again, I apologize, for kind of broadcasting from the future. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but again, with technology, you never know. And let me know if you think if this does happen next time, do you think I should delete everything and redo it, or do this where I kind of just move on and kind of either broadcast from the future or just scrap it and continue on to working on this, because we do have a lot to do. You know, this is a fairly new build, so there's a lot to do out there. So I don't mind, you know, if this happens again, scratching and moving on and then just kind of explaining what I did, but I hope this doesn't happen again. So again, I apologize and thank you for watching if you did stick around. But yeah, so that is it. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.